To the Queen's Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. We are inside JJ's Red Hots, and we have a loaded slate today for you on the Queen's Coaches Show. First up, softball head coach Keela Goins. How are you doing on this Wednesday?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and kind of some big news out today. Autumn Courtney, ASUN Pitcher of the Year, first Royal to ever get an Of the Year award.
Yes.
What does it mean for your team to have that type of player in the circle?
I think for our team is huge, especially having her only be a sophomore. She still has 3 years that she still has to play. So I think it's big for them. They really come together when she's on the mound. And then for her I think she's just so competitive as a pitcher that this is just like oh, that's cool to her. But she wants more than that.
So how's she going to get more this year? What's the game plan for her? How are we using her this season?
I think our theme in the bullpen is they're bananas that haven't been peeled yet.
All right.
Yeah, so they're still, and I could be saying that wrong, but they haven't unveiled everything that they have. So Autumn she still has things up her sleeve, and we have Jordan Dunn coming back from injury last year, Kinsey, which is a transfer that comes in. So I think that's the bananas that haven't been peeled yet, and Abby has developed some extra stuff too. So I think that's their secret weapons that they have.
That's a very interesting saying, I guess, motto for the team. But that sounds like a dangerous bullpen and dangerous pitching staff as a whole.
Yeah.
As a coach, what is it like having a pitching staff that you know you can rely on game in and game out?
Yeah. That's big because a lot of times in softball you'll have that one go-to, and then after that you don't really have anywhere to go, and we have a lot that we can go to depending on the day. So I think that's really big for us as a staff to have those people that we can go to.
Yeah, and then starting the season off, you have two kind of tournament styles, one of them here in Charlotte up at UNC Charlotte. What are you expecting out of those two tournaments, and kind of what are you hoping to learn out of your team early on in the season?
I think for our biggest thing last year was putting up runs. So I think for this weekend, it's can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we back up the pitchers that we have in the circle with the amount of depth that we do have in the circle? Can we back them up offensively as well? So I think that's what we're really looking for in the opening weekend in Wilmington. And then in the rest of the tournament's just some wins. I'm there to win.
I mean, that's very fair. I mean, will you be able to? I know right at this point, not will you be able to win runs. How's that offense shaping up for you guys?
They look really, really good. And I'm the hitting coach, so I'm on them a lot. So they usually get the tough end of it. But they've responded really well. They want to be better, and they know what we have to do this year to be able to compete in the ASUN and hopefully get our first postseason bid. So they know what's at stake, and they know what my expectations are for them. So I think they'll be fine.
Is your expectations for them like 10 runs a game and just like making sure the pitching?
I wish. No, really, it's just like last year we were scraping to get 2 runs.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can put up maybe 4, 5-ish. And I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, it sounds like the pitching staff will be able to kind of
they can hold their own. Yeah,
you're going to win more games than not. And this whole team, I mean, you return, I think I was crunching the numbers earlier, like 80% or something insane of your production from a year ago. One, like, you don't see that often in college athletics. So one, kind of a 2-pronged question: how did you bring them all back? Right. And secondly, what does that do for your team having such an experienced squad?
Right. I don't necessarily think it was me. I think it was them. I think they all enjoy being around each other that much that going somewhere else is not even an option in their heads. They really just love being with each other and competing every day, in and out, practices, weights, whatever, conditioning with each other. So I think that's what brings them back. I wouldn't necessarily say it was me or anybody on staff. And then that is just, for us, it's really big because these girls have played under us. all three of us as assistants, and then the turnover last year whenever I became the head coach. So they know what our expectations are. So it's a breath of fresh air to not have to reiterate that every day.
And now you're going into your first full season, like you said, the turnover, you took over as the head coach kind of midway through last season, but going into your now first full season, you taking anything you learned from last year and putting it towards this year?
Yes. Finish a series. We did not do that too often last year, so that's one of the main goals for us is to finish some ASUN series. And then I think the cat's out the bag. Autumn's pretty good. So
were you a little bummed when that news came out? Like you were like, man, we thought we had kind of an X factor in our back pocket.
No, I still feel like there's still people who don't expect that we will be great. We had the preseason pitcher of the year, but we also were nominated at 10 to finish 10th. So I think there's still they have to put it together, the offensive piece. So I think that's really what we're trying to get there. Yeah.
And I mean, last question for it is, who do you expect on the offensive side to step up and really be your go-to clutch bat?
Yeah. So Kayla Smith, she's a fifth-year returning shortstop. I think she'll be big for us. She was huge for us last year. I think she'll continue that trend. We brought in a freshman catcher, Maddie Cantoni. I think she'll be big for us. Trying to go through my lineup. I got to write that tomorrow. I think Cass Staley will be big for us. She's returning as well. Maybe didn't have the year that she wanted last year, but in the off season has worked extremely hard. So I think she'll be big for us. I know I'm definitely missing people, but yeah.
It's always tough when you put on. Whenever I put a coach on the spot, normally always one person's missed. But no, good luck down in Wilmington. Thank you for taking the time today, and have a great season.
Thank you.
We'll step aside and be right back with more Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina.
There's nothing I love more than a good trail mix. But a mountain bike trail, not so much. Oh, hey, my pedal. Wonder where the other one is.
From urgent care to your full recovery, OrthoCarolina is there every step of the way.
Good day, though. Good day.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
The Eats on East project showcases the Royals pride that spreads through East Boulevard, walking distance from Queens University campus. Royals fans and visitors are encouraged to take a walk to the legendary East Boulevard to culminate the true Queens experience at a variety of restaurants. Home of the Coaches Show, JJ's Red Hots was the first East on East partner. The movement quickly grew as other partners joined, including Lebowski's, Shomars, Jersey Mike's, Brick's Pizza, Kid Cashew, and Penguins Drive-In. The Eats on East partners proudly support Queens and its mission to create and connect fans and families.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasts in over 16 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12-member institutions provide every collegiate experience from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth. So join us, because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Welcome back into the Queens Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina. We're joined now by John Lau, the swimming head coach. How are you doing on this Wednesday?
Senior associate head coach.
Senior associate head coach. I know it's a long thing. No, you are fine. And that's actually perfect, because I was going to bring that in. It's your first season as the senior associate head coach.
It is.
What has that transition been like?
It's been amazing. Taking on a little bit more responsibility, decision-making process as far as looking at training schedules, looking at our season planning, looking at logistics, looking at meet decisions, all sorts of things, helping out with recruiting, top to bottom, just taking on a little bit more responsibility.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I was going to say all the fun stuff. We were talking a little off air about kind of the things they don't tell you about with all of it, the logistics. You're saying everything that goes into it. You're planning out this ASUN Conference Championship coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
What are you expecting out of that one?
It's going to be a drag-out, knockout battle between our men's team and Southern Methodist University. They're a newcomer to the conference, and they'll be in the conference for 1 year before going to the ACC. They've been a powerhouse for many decades, and it'll be a great challenge for our men. On the women's side, our women will be competing for the championship as well. Mm-hmm. Their rivalry will be against Liberty University, the defending champions. And we have an amazing women's team and men's team that has a lot of depth that should be able to put up a great fight between those two teams. So we're looking for a great battle. Yeah,
that's awesome. And you got some great swimmers across your entire roster, but just swept the weekly honors from the ASUN. Can you talk a little bit about what Sophia Lang, and I practiced his name, and I'm going to try it, Balash.
It's pretty good. That's pretty. Bedic. Yeah.
Ooh, I was so close.
I might have even butchered it a little bit. Sorry about Balash. I apologize.
But yeah, they swept the weekly honors, and what have you seen out of them over last week and throughout this season, and them and your whole roster?
Yep. So Balash is in his 5th year, and he's been a tremendous cornerstone of our men's program for the last 4 years. He was a transfer from Florida State University, but team captain, has been a cornerstone of our relays, breaststroke crew, IM crew. We're looking toward him for leadership and experience to lead the way. He's had an amazing season, very consistent in his training, very consistent in competing and showing up and providing an example. Mm-hmm. Sophia Lang on the other side, she's a senior, 4th year. She's a school record holder in the 1,000 free and the 1,650 free. She's looking to show a little bit of speed in the 200 this year, filling a big gap with some graduations last year. And she's a tremendous leader. She works incredibly hard, huge example to our program. And probably most importantly, she has an attitude where we're gonna walk in, we're gonna kick some butt, we're gonna throw it down, and if we can't beat them, we'll beat them in the parking lot. Like that type of attitude.
I love that attitude. I mean, you don't often hear that type of attitude kind of in the swimming realm, and it's kind of so individualized where you're in your own lane doing it. But I mean, that type of attitude is fantastic. Can you take that attitude from the ASUN Conference Championship into the National Invitational Championship coming up in just a few weeks past that?
Mm-hmm. We certainly will. We certainly will. At this point, our men's roster has qualified the maximum of 12 individuals, both on an individual standpoint and a relay standpoint. And so that's going to give us the best opportunity to potentially defend our title from last year. At that meet, it's a showcase of about 80 Division I programs, some of which are in the Power 5, most notably Tennessee, Indiana, TCU, Ohio State. On the women's side, we had about 9 or 10 that made it to the meet last year, and we've got about that many this year already. So we're looking to have a couple more qualifiers at our conference championships, and hoping to bring a full squad and improve upon our 10th place finish on the women's side last year, which I completely think is doable. So we're really excited to get through a conference meet and and potentially walk away with some titles.
Yeah.
But also looking ahead towards national competition, stacking us up against Division I big programs.
Yeah, and you guys, Queens Swimming has had a lot of success since you've gotten here, and just overall. What has been the key for Queens Swimming to have this type of, not just kind of individualized success, but sustained success? Let's say that 5 times fast across so many years.
Yeah. I think the consistent factor is our head coach, Jeff Dugdale. He started the program in 2010 and started the culture, started our traditions, started planting the seeds of our team values. And over time, all the bricks that he's laid has been taken responsibility for by the athletes. So in the beginning, he always talks about it being a coach-driven culture. Now it's a very athlete-driven culture, coach-guided.
Yeah.
So he's been the consistent pillar of the entire program that whole time, and an incredible mentor to me as well.
That's awesome. And as the senior associate head coach, you probably can't pick necessarily a favorite event, but I'm going to ask you anyways. What is your favorite swimming event?
Oh gosh. I have a soft spot for the 500 freestyle. That's going to be on the day one of the conference championships. I coach mostly the distance group. I coach a lot of different groups, but mostly distance group. But I love how it forces athletes to go out fast, go out hard, ride the pain train, and see who's willing to suffer the most. And with that suffering comes great rewards as well. It's a lot of fun to watch.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck at the ASUN Conference Championship. Good luck to your team at the National Invitational Championship a little bit after that. And thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course. We'll step aside and be back with more Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina.
Max has been practicing to be a professional soccer player his whole life.
I think I broke my knee! I think I broke my collarbone! I can do better. Let me take that from the top.
From your first real urgent care visit to full recovery, OrthoCarolina is there every step of the way.
I think I broke my ALC!
It's ACL. He's getting really good.
Every journey has a starting point. Each student has a moment when talent and passion meet opportunity. At the intersection of challenge and support, self-discovery fuels breakthroughs, and leaders emerge prepared for what's next. I grew up loving music. It possesses this very real, very unique power for connection and healing. And my journey as a music therapist took shape here.
I discovered the pool offered a more level playing field and the chance to push my limits. At Queens, there's so much opportunity, and our potential for greatness accelerates with every step of our collective journey.
I've always had a knack for chemistry, and that talent has magnified since I got here, rippling out in new directions. I'm not afraid to take risks. I believe challenges make us stronger, and innovation only comes when we're willing to lean into the unknown.
I'm still not sure what the future holds, but whatever it is, Queens has prepared me for it.
My professors push me in the classroom and believe in my abilities.
My coaches, professors, all of us, we're one team, one family.
Here, my voice is heard. I'm given the freedom to be myself and charter new opportunities for change.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Welcome back into the Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. We are now joined by the Associate Head Coach, Hitting Coach James Cullinan.
Yeah.
Did I nail that?
Yeah, you did. Good job.
You know, there was not a lot of hope that I was going to get that, but I'm very
It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare to get it.
You just read it out phonetically and everything.
Yeah,
It's
good
all
for you.
But hitting coach, you're getting ready for a Samford series to start it off on February 16th. We'll just dive right into that schedule. We'll dive right into that Samford game,
Sweet.
that Samford series. What are you expecting out of the team in that one?
Team coming off a regional. They're in the Auburn regional, so they'll be good. We're expecting to get tested, and it'll set us up. We go to South Carolina the next Wednesday, and then first home series. So first 4 games will be an awesome test for this group. Obviously, new coaching staff, a lot of new players. We're excited about it.
Yeah, and then we'll kind of change gears and go to that coaching staff because a lot of interesting connections.
Yeah.
You coached with head coach Jake Hendrick at Northeastern State. How did you find your way to the Queen City, and then kind of how did the staff come together?
Yeah, so it can go back probably 3-4 years now. Coach Hendrick, Jake hired me when I was a 25-year-old naive hitting coach and hired me to Northeastern State. 2 great years together where we were one of the best offenses in the country. He parlayed that into the associate head job at Austin Peay with Roland Fanning, had a great year last year. I hired Luke Bay, who's our pitching coordinator, and then my volunteer assistant, Justin Zertucci, is now our director of baseball ops. So all 4 of us have like a pretty cool connection. Justin and Jake have actually worked together for 7 years. Started off as a student assistant, so really cool ties. I ended up here. Jake called me really randomly one day. I was actually golfing with Luke. He was like, hey, you need to take this phone call in private. And so pretty quickly all fell into place and got the whole gang out here. And then we hired Cam Coons from Marshall. So he's kind of like the lone guy without any previous ties, but we're having a great time with him too. So great time of the year for us.
Well, now here's the really important question. What'd you shoot during that golfing round?
I took a lot of birdies, or a lot of balls got lost, and we just dropped them. And Luke was good about. Luke is trying to teach me how to golf. I have not golfed in the Queen City yet, so that probably tells you a lot about that round.
No, I'm trying to get into golfing too, and if I could just straighten my drive, it'd be perfect, but it goes straight right or left.
Yeah, so I get about 15 yards of straight, and it looks really good, and then it just takes off to the right. It's a hitting thing for baseball players. Luke was a pitcher at Kansas State, so he can keep it in play a little better than I can.
And you mentioned top offenses in the country when you're at Northeastern State.
Yeah.
How are you going to take that and bring it over to the Queen City?
We're going to try and drive the baseball. That's kind of what everyone knows me for. It's a fun dynamic between Jake and I. I stay in the dugout and I talk mentality and approach and go over the scouting report, and then he's kind of like the play caller. I'm a big 49ers fan, so he's like the Kyle Shanahan over at third base. And he's talking about steals and bunts and hit and runs, and I just want to really drive baseballs in the gaps. And at Northeastern State, we were really dynamic. We stole 130 bases, hit 120 doubles and 120 home runs.
Wow.
We had some pretty special players that I'm still following their year this year, so it's a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to try and drive the baseball. We have some physical players. It's a really important piece for us, and we're getting after it. So it'll be fun to see Samford. It'll be a nice first test for us.
It sounds like it's going to be a fun one. And with your team, anyone standing out driving the baseball exceptionally well? I know it kind of puts you on the spot as a coach because you want to.
No, it's a pretty easy. It's a pretty easy answer. Right. Dylan Lewis. Dylan Lewis has put up some pretty impressive numbers. We had a fall scrimmage against Gardner Webb. Hit a home run 470 feet, 112 miles an hour. Yeah, that reaction over there was like a lot of them in the stands. And then Matthew Corlew is a transfer from Eastern Kentucky, super physical human. He's starting to figure it out. Jake Barber is another one, true freshman. That Gardner Webb series, he put one out to right field. He turned around 97 up and in and put it out at like a 106, 107. So another really high impact freshman that we're lucky to have.
I can get a 470.
Yeah. It was, I was impressed, and it's pretty hard to get me to be impressed on a batted ball, but also a really fast runner, and he's starting to put it together. Had a really, really tough year last year, injury plagued, and he's healthy now, and kind of a guy to watch out for.
What was the pitcher's reaction on that one?
I'm not sure. I was trying to watch the ball. It didn't land for a while. That pitcher is a a stud.
Which makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be on some draft boards, and he had a good inning after that, but it was that ball was touched.
So 49ers, so your team's playing in the Super Bowl. Let's
Yeah.
change gears now all the way over to the NFL.
Love how I brought this in here.
Yeah, got to go 49. I'm a Seahawks fan, but we won't talk too much about that one.
We can talk about that one as much as you want. We can talk about that all day.
We can bring up Richard Sherman and
we can.
But what do you expect out of the Super Bowl on Sunday? Is Brock Purdy also the future, or?
I hope so. I mean, when he's not hurt, he's having a rough go of it right now. But obviously, still in the Super Bowl. That defense is elite. They say defense wins championships, so we're hoping there. But hard to bet against Pat Mahomes. So, I'll be hoping and praying, and the whole staff will be together for, which is what is a lot of fun. So,
are you the lone 49ers fan on the staff?
On Sunday, everyone will be 49ers fans, but I am the lone 49ers fan right now.
Okay.
But most of them, Justin is sadly a Cowboys fan. The rest of them, I don't think, have too big of affiliates, so we'll all be rooting for the Niners. I made sure of that before I accepted the invite to Hendrick's house.
That's very, very fair. So we'll go back to baseball. Last question for you. Kind of a bold prediction. How many home runs is your team hitting? How well are they going to hit the ball this year?
That is a bold question to ask, too. I'm hoping, I don't know if we'll match 120. That was a pretty special year. We had a guy with 28 and a guy with 20. I would hope that we break the school record. I don't actually know what that is off the top of my head, but we have guys who can drive the baseball.
Yeah.
And if we put together quality at bats, we'll see some balls leave the yard. So hopefully, Stanford series, we get a couple. I'm not putting a number on it. That's too far.
That is that's fair. That's something we could come back to at the end of the year, and it could go either really well or really poor.
Hopefully really well. Yeah, we're gonna go say really well.
Yeah. But no, good luck on February 16th, Stanford series, and good luck this season, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Thanks for having me on.
We'll step aside and be right back with more Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina.
Oh, man. There's nothing I love more than a good trail mix. But a mountain bike trail, not so much. Oh, hey. My pedal. Wonder where the other one is.
From urgent care to your full recovery, OrthoCarolina is there every step of the way.
Good day, though. Good day.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above. Where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark. Where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness. Where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. Join us, because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
The Eats on East project showcases the Royals pride that spreads through East Boulevard, walking distance from Queens University campus. Royals fans and visitors are encouraged to take a walk to the legendary East Boulevard to culminate the true Queens experience at a variety of restaurants. Home of the Coaches Show, JJ's Red Hots was the first East on East partner. The movement quickly grew as other partners joined, including Lebowski's, Shomars, Jersey Mike's, Brick's Pizza, Kid Cashew, and Penguins Drive-In. The Eats on East partners proudly support Queens and its mission to create and connect fans and families. See all the Royals coaches live and in person during one of their many events held on the fields and courts of Queens University. All tickets for Queens home games can be purchased at queensathletics.com/tickets.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Royals Nation, this is your Royals recap. I'm Kat Biancardi, and they say new year, new me. Actually, it's the same Royals, and they continue to rise. Let me catch you up on the best moments of Royals athletics this past month. And this one Royal in particular started out 2024 literally falling out of her seat. Jordan, I got something to show you. Can you look at this? Congratulations on being named ASUN Player of the Week for the women's basketball program for the first time ever. After earning ASUN Player of the Week honors in early January, Jordan Weaver finished the month dropping 33 points over North Alabama. The 33 points are the most scored by a Royal in a single game within the past 5 years. On the men's side, Dayton Albright, a top 5 ASUN scorer, was summoned to Coach Leonard's office.
Yeah, you ready? Yeah. Congratulations, your newcomer of the week.
The point guard contributed to league wins over Florida Gulf Coast University and Central Arkansas. Congrats Dayton on capping off January as the ASUN newcomer of the week. Inside Curry Arena, Queens men's volleyball secured 3 straight wins. Head coach Jeremy Price says the team has a little bit something extra than they have had previous seasons.
I think we have more talent to prepare with. I don't think the preparation has necessarily changed. We just are bigger, we're better, and we're deeper.
At the pool deck, ooh la la, senior Danielle Malelli is one step closer to competing at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. At the US Open, Malelli swam a personal best time in the women's 50 freestyle to qualify her for the Olympic trials later this year. Congrats, Danielle. On the tennis court, the Royals men's tennis team earned their first victory of the season on the road over James Madison University. Congrats, fellas. And folks, that's your Royals recap. For the latest, follow at Queens Athletics. Thanks, y'all.
Welcome back into the Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. We're joined now by the women's soccer head coach, Shayna Neely-Noel. How are you doing on this Wednesday?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Talking all things Super Bowl, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. We'll get to that in a little bit. But
sure.
First off, today is National Girls and Women in Sports
Day. You got it. It's a mouthful, but it's important.
4 times fast. I'll get that by the end of it and everything. But what does that day mean for you?
Yeah, I was reflecting on that today because there's so much content going out on social media, and you get to see all these really wonderful things celebrating not just women's sports, not just youth sports for girls, but the people in it. And it really kind of hit me when I was growing up. It was kind of this space where you were the tomboy, and it made you feel like you were this oddity. You were one of only a few girls who actually liked this thing. And in a way, it made you feel unique and special, but it also made you feel isolated in a little bit of a way. And, you know, I'm 20 years out from my collegiate career, well, I'll be 40 years old next month. But even in my youth, like the difference between now and where our youth sports are for girls and where we're celebrating professional women's sports, it's really such a seismic change. Like, we're celebrating all women, and there's such this great community. There's a platform to be happy about it, and it's just such a different experience. And I had a wonderful experience growing up, but it is so different now, and I think for the better.
Yeah, that's awesome. And can you talk a little bit about some of your players sat down with Girl Scouts recently and kind of brings that all together and then brings it into National Girls and Women in Sports Day?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what I just talked about, right? Like the older players, whether it be me being really older, my players who are, you know, in their later teens and 20s, and then that next generation coming up, really that can you see it and be it. Really supporting them, getting them excited about sports, having older players excited about them so they feel special and supported in what they're doing. I just think it's a really fantastic thing that's presented here at Queens and a tradition for the holiday now.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy every year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to take it from off the field now onto the pitch for you.
Yeah.
Since the last time you joined us on the Queens Coaches Show, you added 2 transfers.
Yes.
I'm going to try. I didn't do names well earlier,
That's
but
all right.
Sejla Podzik.
Yep. So hers is a little bit tough.
I didn't get it right. You got me too. Shayla.
Yep, Podzik.
Podzik.
So last name you were pretty close on it. But yeah, I can't blame you,
Yeah.
right? I asked her when I talked to her as well how to say it. So.
But her and Ella Glover.
Correct.
Both
That
have
one
joined.
you hit.
Yeah,
Nail on the
I
head.
got that one. I don't need a pronunciation guy
Yeah.
for that one. But what are they bringing to Queens, and what do you expect out of them?
They've been great. They've, we had such a wonderful returning group to start with, and then adding them in has just been exceptional. I mean, their energy, their style of play, their aptitude on the field is one thing, but who they've been in terms of the personality of our group has been just so much fun. They've really just jumped straight in and added so much.
That's awesome. And we're here at JJ's Red Hots, so I got to throw some hot dog trivia at you.
I'm from Chicago.
I don't know if that'll help.
Yeah, fair.
So I asked you off air, how large is a soccer pitch? You said at most 120 yards.
120 yards.
How many hot dogs, if you laid them end to end, would it take to go from one end line to the other end line?
Well, do we have a standard metric size for the hot dog?
That would give it away.
Okay.
Well, it wouldn't give it away.
That's the math I'm
Wouldn't
trying
give
to
it
do,
away.
right?
Okay,
All right.
let's say it's roughly.
General guess. Okay, I'm gonna oddball this out to 1,500.
No.
Ooh.
A lot higher.
Yeah,
You went
okay.
really high.
Yeah.
It's 720 according to my
Okay.
mathematical
I went way
equation.
too
You went
high.
way. It's
Apparently,
typical.
Yeah, apparently mine are the small guys.
Yeah.
You're working with the foot long.
I was going with the 6 inches, but
Ah, there you go.
but the Chicago background didn't help
No,
in
it
that
did
one.
not at
But
all. It's all the sauerkraut. It holds you back.
fair, if you added sauerkraut, it might actually bring it down just a little bit, considering. But going from that weird question. But you got to bring it up because when you're in the home of the hot dogs.
When you're in off-season, you got to talk about something, right?
Well, off-season question number 2 coming at you. You're a goalkeeper at Ohio State.
Correct.
If you could pick any other position, which would it be and why? And also, why goalkeeper? I guess that's at the end.
Oh gosh. So I'll start with the second question. Why goalkeeper? I have a memory of being at youth training and like everybody took a turn and I was pretty good at it. So I just kind of was thrown there and so is history. I don't know. No, I loved it. I mean, it's like that love-hate relationship with the position. You know, you never get a ton of credit, but you always get a lot of blame. Yeah. Like there's a real thrill in the position. It's a real challenge. But yeah, the easy answer is apparently I was pretty good at it when I was little, and they kind of stuck me there. Gosh, a different position. Oh heck, why want to like just throw me up at forward? Let me score some goals. I mean, we have the best celebration. Goalkeepers have the best celebrations when they score goals. It's the best.
Because you just wait for so long to it's all building.
Right? It's like when the lineman scores a football touchdown, right?
Why did the soccer coach bring a lacrosse stick?
Because I'm excited. We are starting a new social media series next week, Kicking It with Coaches or Kicking It with Lacrosse to start it off, where my staff is going to go and next week meet with the men's and women's lacrosse staff, and they are going to teach us how to play. I don't think ever even thrown a lacrosse ball before, so you need to tune in. It's going to be funny for some good reasons and some at my expense, but that's okay. That's kind of the point. We're excited about lacrosse season starting. Both are opening their season on the road this weekend, and then next weekend is their home opener. So we're thrilled to start the series with them. We'll have other sports throughout the spring semester. But yeah, Coach Doyle lent me a stick so I could come and promote the new look.
Is that a men's stick or a
It is a men's stick, and it's a short stick. So like I said, I'm an attacker now. I'm not even in goal.
There you go.
Coach Sage is going in goal. She's getting the helmet, the pads, everything. I can't wait. I'm just hoping
You're gonna be throwing some.
As long as I don't fall over, I think I'm in a win.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I feel like it'd be hard to fall over.
Yes, but I mean, we're kicking it, but I'm used to actually kicking it for my sport.
Well, but you're a goalkeeper, so you've used your hands.
But that was a while ago. Listen, I'm setting the bar low so that I can try to impress.
Where can we find this?
It's going to be all over our social media platforms.
Okay.
So the women's soccer pages, obviously lacrosse pages, hopefully Quinns Athletics. just as many people
Unless you
as would
fall,
like
then
to.
they're not going to get the retweet.
No, that's when it goes viral.
Oh, okay.
And it's like the little GIF that we just share every now and then. It just pops back up.
Can't wait.
Exactly.
Can't wait for that. So you said a forward, right?
Yeah, let's score some goals.
All right. What would your goal celebration be?
Oh man, probably just running to my teammates. I was always that kid. Like I was always the one like pumping up my teammates, celebrating others. I mean, maybe that was the goalkeeper thing, right? Like the success, like I make a save, it's great. The play continues. Everybody else like scores a goal, like the whole game stops, right? My failures is when the game stops. So maybe just running. You see the people run to the sideline and do like the big high fives with the whole line. That would be me.
When you put it like that, the goalkeeper position sounds so.
Oh, it's brutal. It's
terrible.
brutal. I've told, like, so I have a son, I have a daughter now, and it's like, listen, if they end up there, great, but I'm going to do everything I can to help them avoid it. Play in the midfield. It's a great spot.
Get away from the back line. That's where the pressure is.
It's like, I think it's the best, but I also understand the brutality of it. I always tell our goalkeepers, we're the only ones that know each other's crazy. So there's a great little union of us.
I mean, because in a game when it's 1-0, there's so much pressure on you.
Yeah,
but then on the offensive side, if you're the one that scored that game winner, you have so much, I never thought of it like that, where the dichotomy between the attackers.
Yeah, our
and the
mistakes are highlighted pretty heavily.
And it's shown on replay and replay and film and all of that fun stuff. But along with being head coach for Queens, I saw that you work with the U.S. Deaf Women's National Team.
Yeah.
That was really interesting to me. Can you kind of go over what that role is and kind of what the Deaf Women's National Team is?
Yeah, so I had a great opportunity to work with their program. I haven't had a chance to work with them recently, and they just continue to soar. They won their Deaf World Cup this past year, or in 2023. I was supposed to join them when they went to the Deaf Olympics down in Brazil, and it just didn't work out. You have a baby, you can't internationally travel as easily, right? But I really had a great fortune through a coaching connection. I met Coach Griffin, who is just a legend in sports. You want to talk about Girls and Women in Sports Day. She's one of those women who has just set up the platform for people like me and just really elevated it in the work that she's done in many ways. But she started with the team, and she's the head coach of the program. And I was able to connect with her, and I studied sign language in college. So I kind of reached out to her. I was like, this is so intriguing when I found out about the team. I would love to get involved, even if you just let me come and watch, because we talk about communication all the time in sports, especially in soccer. And now think you have a bunch of deaf women running around and playing. How do they communicate? How does that work in a training space? And they're extraordinary. Kate Ward, who is one of their longtime captains and players, she's the most decorated person in U.S. soccer history. She's coaching herself now. Like, it is just an exceptional group, and I was really lucky to join in. Amy Griffin and Joy Fawcett, who is her assistant coach, are World Cup champions themselves, a part of the very first Women's World Cup ever, 1991. Joy Fawcett went on to win another one and two Olympic golds. Like, I mean, these are just legends, and I got the great chance to be a part of their staff for a minute and just to watch this team. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Hopefully sometime I'll be able to jump back in and do some work with them, but they are just awesome.
That's awesome. But thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck with kicking
thanks,
it.
I know.
Hope you don't fall. Hope you score a few goals.
I just got to remember not to kick things, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a few kick balls to get it away
Once
from
rugby comes around, I'm allowed to kick a rugby ball.
I think so. I think
that's what people tell me.
That's all in the rules.
I'm hoping Shannon scores her first hat.
Huh? Yes.
That would.
Huh? Yeah, I'm in for it. Right? That just means maybe Sage will fall over.
Well, I guess this is my last question then. In your career, how many goals did you score from the goalkeeper position?
No,
you said,
none. I mean,
I thought.
No, I did. There was a year injuries were prevalent, and I had, you play a little bit on the field and everything like that. I have game minutes in my collegiate career on the field for Ohio State.
See, when you said that the goalkeepers have the best goal celebration, I thought that was from
just
experience.
training. Yeah, man, I don't know what I'd do in a real game. Well, probably lose my mind.
Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. I look forward to the next time you join us on the Queen's
Absolutely,
Coaches
anytime.
Show. We'll step aside and be right back with the Queen's Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina.
Max has been practicing to be a professional soccer player his whole life.
I think I broke my knee! I think I broke my collarbone! I can do better. Let me take that from the top.
From your first real urgent care visit to full recovery, OrthoCarolina is there every step of the way.
I think I broke my ALC!
It's ACL.
He's getting really good.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasts in over 16 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12-member institutions provide every collegiate experience from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth. So join us, because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
The Eats on East project showcases the Royals pride that spreads through East Boulevard, walking distance from Queens University campus. Royals fans and visitors are encouraged to take a walk to the legendary East Boulevard to culminate the true Queens experience at a variety of restaurants. Home of the Coaches Show, JJ's Red Hots was the first East on East partner. The movement quickly grew as other partners joined, including Lebowski's, Showmars, Jersey Mike's, Rick's Pizza, Kid Cashew, and Penguins Drive-In. The Eats on East partners proudly support Queens and its mission to create and connect fans and families. See all the Royals coaches live and in person during one of their many events held on the fields and courts of Queens University. All tickets for Queens home games can be purchased at queensathletics.com/tickets.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
A professional soccer player his whole life.
I think I broke my knee! I think I broke my collarbone! I can do better. Let me take that from the top.
From your first real urgent care visit to full recovery, OrthoCarolina is there every step of the way.
I think I broke my ALC!
It's ACL. He's getting really good.
Every journey has a starting point. Each student has a moment when talent and passion meet opportunity. At the intersection of challenge and support, self-discovery fuels breakthroughs, and leaders emerge prepared for what's next. I grew up loving music. It possesses this very real, very unique power for connection and healing. And my journey as a music therapist took shape here.
I discovered the pool offered a more level playing field and the chance to push my limits. At Queens, there's so much opportunity, and our potential for greatness accelerates with every step of our collective journey.
I've always had a knack for chemistry, and that talent has magnified since I got here, rippling out in new directions. I'm not afraid to take risks. I believe challenges make us stronger, and innovation only comes when we're willing to lean into the unknown.
I'm still not sure what the future holds, but whatever it is, Queens has prepared me for it.
My professors push me in the classroom and believe in my abilities.
My coaches, professors, all of us, we're one team, one family.
Here, my voice is heard. I'm given the freedom to be myself and charter new opportunities for change.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Welcome back into the Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. We're joined now by track and field head coach Jake Krolik. How are you doing on this Wednesday?
Doing well. Great to be here.
Yeah, you talked a little bit off air. I have not started any training, so I'm still getting ready. If you give me the shot put stone, I'm ready to go.
There we go. You just give me a call and we'll get you going. I'll get Coach Helf with you. He'll coach you up in the throws. So
I love it. For you guys, your outdoor season starts soon. Indoors going so far as well. Some great performances this last invitational you guys were at. How's the season shaping up so far?
I think the best way to look at it is that in our first 2 weekends competing, the last 2 weeks of January, that we had 16 different athletes contribute top 10 marks in our program history in just the first 2 weeks. So we're not just seeing success with one athlete, we are seeing success across multiple athletes, across every event group that we are having a lot of success. A few event champions in the distance events makes me look good, I guess, as more of a distance guy. But just great to see success coming from the jumps. Top 10 marks in the sprints, top 10 marks in the throws. Our multi-eventers are crushing it. So I'm just so proud of each and every one of my coaches that they've got their athletes already contributing to program best marks, and we're just getting started.
I love it, and we're here at JJ Red Hots, and you mentioned a lot of your athletes have been finishing well. So I have some hot dog related questions that also relay into how some of your athletes have been performing.
All right.
We're going to start with Zach Freeland, ASUN Freshman of the Week. He had a 4-minute, 8-second mile at the Camel City Invitational. First, I got to ask, how many hot dogs are in a mile if you laid them end to end?
I'm going to guess they're roughly 7 or 8 inches, so multiply 5280 by 2, that's going to give you roughly 10,600. I was a math major, so
man, you're close. It's 10,000 roughly, so we can roughly 10,560.
Oh, look at that. So.
But Zach's great performance. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about him earning a Sun Freshman of the Week and that awesome?
What awards do I get here? So
we'll get a write up here later on.
All right. Yeah. So, next question.
No, but how's Zach Freeland? How's he doing as a freshman in your program?
Oh, he's doing outstanding. So he's a redshirt freshman in indoor season. He made some finals during the outdoor season in the 1500. Had some great success back in England, but he was hurt all last cross country, all last indoor season during his freshman year. So he's technically a freshman right now. I've seen some spectacular things from him in training. He's closing races. He's 2 for 2 with wins. So I mean, I can't coach him to finish strong. I can't coach him to want to win. So I mean, that's a special gift that Zach has shown that he has, and that's what's going to take him maybe someday to dip under that 4-minute barrier. I really believe him and Moritz, that those two guys definitely have a shot at breaking the 4-minute mile barrier someday.
That's awesome. Moving along, Preston Gant, he finished second in the 3,000 meter at the JDL Flat is Fast Invitational. Number of hot dogs in 3,000 meters.
3,000 meters, so that's...
The fact you're a math major kind of takes away some of this fun.
So I'm going to say that's roughly 9,000 feet, so we're just going to almost double that, and let's just go with 20,000 roughly.
19,685.
So close enough.
That's good, but with Preston in that distance running, kind of where you lean in your preference, how's he performing and overall the distance kind of athletes on your roster?
So Preston is a guy that I'm going to tell you, he was a walk-on, didn't have a whole lot of expectation for this guy, but he is the kind of surprise that you get in recruiting that you just get excited about, and that's the story where we give a lot of people opportunity, and Preston has done a great job taking advantage of the opportunity. So from someone we didn't have much expectation to being someone that I know is going to be a big part of this program moving forward, he has already ran approximately a minute faster over 3,000 meters than he did a year ago in high school. So he's just getting started, he's committed, he's done everything right. Really excited to see where Preston goes. So great. Thank you for highlighting him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when he has a great finish like that, it's easy to highlight. Moving over to the field portion now, we got Enrico Basato and Jacob Nutzel.
Yes, Jakob.
I'm not doing well on
You
names
got some
tonight.
Germans. You got the international.
So they had shot put throws of 14.41 meters, 14.07 meters. Can we convert that into hot dogs?
Yeah, we're going to say that's roughly 45 feet. So we're going to go roughly, I'm going to undershoot, so 85 hot dogs.
94 and a half,
okay.
92.3 hot dogs respectively for the two of them. But on that field side with Basato and Nuts, so I'm just going to go last names on that one.
Yeah.
How have they been performing?
Enrico's a freshman doing a great job there. He's already thrown almost a meter further, so roughly 6 hot dogs further than he had before he got to Queens. So we're really thrilled with the quick improvements he's making. I guess Inez Stefan, she's a female shot putter as well. Same idea, thrown almost a meter further than she had thrown before she got here. So again, Coach Helf doing a great job with those throwers. Jakob's specialty is the discus, so we're going to see a lot more of him when we get outdoors.
Awesome.
He was 5th at the European U20 Championships in the discus. So he's starting to learn how to throw the shot put a little bit, be more than just a one-trick pony, find a way to contribute indoors. So great to see him improving with top 10 marks in the shot put. But again, keep your eye on that guy as we head to the outdoor season.
That's awesome. You can put that in your recruiting pitch now. We've increased shot puts by 6 hot dogs. We do it all measurements with hot dogs.
I think that we should petition IAAF and starting to instead of. I mean, I've watched an SNL skit on how we pretty much decide to use the not use the metric system, except for in sports like track and field. I say we just petition them to let's just go with the hot dog scale.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it fits. You got to figure it out.
I mean, everyone knows Joey Chestnut. He'll get involved. It'll be great.
He'll just be eating all of the hot dogs as you're trying to measure them out. But Peyton Lust, triple jump, she had 9.62 meters, long jump 4.66. I'm going to ask you for the conversion. This is the last one, I swear.
Okay, all right. So we're talking roughly 54, 55 hot dogs in her triple jump and roughly 30-ish hot dogs in her long jump. So.
Yep, 30 hot dogs in her long jump, about 63, but now I'm doubting my math, and I'm trusting your mental math a little bit better. But with Peyton, what have you seen out of her and her kind of on the field side?
I mean, she's just done great. We've taken her some meets where she can have a chance to make the finals, so she's made a couple finals. We definitely are learning a lot with Peyton, that we hope that she just continues to make more finals and get excited and get motivated to keep on having those extra 3 jumps when she goes to these meets. So any extra attempts that we can get her throughout this first year with her is going to be great. So.
No, that's awesome. Appreciate the time, Jake. I appreciate you going through my weird hot dog conversion rate.
Oh, I love it. You gave me some math, and like I said, I don't get to use that every day. So.
Yeah, and then when in Rome, right? You gotta measure everything by the hot dog.
Exactly.
Thank you for taking the time today.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah, of course. And thank you so much for tuning into the Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more potentially hot dog metric conversion conversations.